When I was a week shy of 11 years old, Hurricane Irene flooded our barn with 8 feet of water and filled our basement. The water line was just shy of the first floor. Thankfully, out of our chickens, ducks, and goats, we only lost our ducks and one rooster who had developed a taste for the blood of my stepbrother and I. Thankfully, he and I were both at our other parents' houses for the weekend, because my mother and my stepfather had to hike through torrential downpour and flooded roads with 2 dogs on leashes and a cat, Pumpkin, in the cat carrier, in order to get to my stepfather's father, who was waiting for them to take them to Burlington, where there was electricity and water still. And in the 3 days that they stayed in Burlington, Pumpkin was allowed unfiltered access to the fenced backyard. And we had no fencing. The only fencing we had was meant for cows and horses. It was not built for keeping small animals away from the woods on the other side of the fence. And Pumpkin was a hunter, so I totally understand why he wanted to go outside and smell things and chase things and, be a hunter. He was brought originally to catch the mice that come from living in a 250-year-old house built across from a river. But eventually Pumpkin would just try to escape so often and so frequently that we just gave up. And we said, okay, if there's somebody out with him, Pumpkin can go outside. And he loved it. He loved being outside. I remember so vividly how much fun he would have rolling and playing in the tall grass. And then one day he disappeared. And I don't remember how long I held out hope. And I don't remember how long we looked for him. There was a girl who said that her cat was gone for 11 months and then he just turned up one day. And I remember very, very little else about Pumpkin. Domesticated cats can survive in the wild, and colonies of feral cats have thrived in America since they were brought here in the 1600s. But when you let your house cat outside, you expose it to the dangers of outside as well. Coyotes will walk onto your property like they own the place, take your pet in its mouth, and walk off just the same. I've watched it happen to my chickens. Fisher cats have razor-sharp claws and teeth, and they carry rabies. Birds of prey have been known to take dogs, cats, rabbits, and other small animals out of the blue. This doesn't even take into account the damage a cat can do to its environment. An estimated 2.4 billion birds every year die because house cats kill and eat them. And if it's a cat that is getting meals on the regular, sometimes it won't even eat the bird. It'll just kill it for fun. So these kills are just being wasted. And that doesn't even mention cars, roads, bodies of water, or harsh elemental conditions, which in Vermont we can all be all too familiar with. When taking all of this into consideration, there was really no leg to stand on for letting your cat outside. I wish we had been stricter with Pumpkin, because if we had been, and he had been alive today, he would only be 14 years old, barely an old cat.